Good morning, good afternoon, fellow Ugandans. My name is Nkonge Moses Chibarama, the former president of NUP. I come here to clarify on issues that are currently trending on the social media and other news outlets. I'm surprised that out of the lawyers' questions to me, as I was, answering some questions, those individuals misinterpreted the fact that I met the CDF of the Republic of Uganda and David Muhozi, and I would like to clarify on the same subject of my meeting with the General Muhozi. It's not true that General Muhozi invited me at his office at all. But I, Nkonge Moses Barama, I made the effort of contacting the CDF because of my personal security at home and elsewhere wherever I go. I had some individuals whom I could not identify who come in my compound at night with the intention to threaten me or to harm me. And I didn't know those people. I called sometime I called the police who came around my compound at 2 a.m. and fired in the air. That was very scary for me. But the police went, made that report. So what happened later on, I insisted on getting the protection of the state, which is General Muhozi as the head of the UPDF. That's why I tried very much to contact him. I got him. And in fact, one day when I got him, my issues of discussion were simply and directly concerned with my security. I explained in detail to him threats that I was facing, matters that I was going through every day on a daily basis. So after I met CDF on security concerns of my life and my home, and as a political leader, I had to meet the head of the military, and he promised me that they will look into my security. Within 2-3 days, that's when I saw security officers coming to my house, guarding my house, yes, and probably protecting me all the way to town or wherever I go. That was simply on my personal request. There was no anything that could bring in the UPDF in my home if it was not for the threats that I was getting on a daily basis. So these clips going around, moving around social media, that CDF interfered with my well-being, those are lies. I'm the one who contacted General Muhozi with the request that he helps to secure my home, my life, and my family. So that's why the clarification I wanted to make in this arrangement. As you can see, I'm at home, I'm happy, I'm enjoying my freedom, I'm enjoying my life. So I don't have any complaint. If there's any other complaint, I would meet probably any other officer. And I was free here. When there was speculation that, oh, Chibarama was abducted, oh, Chibarama is missing, oh, the military is holding him, or whatever it was. No, I'm the one who called Mr. Enanga the spokesperson of Uganda Police Force, to inform him that no, Mr. Nanga, whatever you hear are rumors. I'm safe, I'm at home, as I'm at home as of now. You know, the reporter here found me in my home. I'm very comfortable, no problem. So the issues of misleading the country through politicking and politics, this is wrong. I actually clear this matter because even issues that came from court yesterday, when I was still in court trying to give evidence on matters that I know of, one of the leaders went out and posted a clip that, you know, security tortured me, they removed my nails and what, and I was forced to remove my stocks to show the fact that my nails are on my feet, to prove, and I did that. I removed the stocks to show everybody who was concerned that my body is in one piece intact. So the kind of politics that people are playing over the social media, I think some of these things should be neglected and totally left out, because there's nothing, no threats at all. We are at home. I'm at home here in Muwambe. That's where I'm reporting from. Having the army in my home, that's my only request. That was my only request to the CDF, and that's the reason I went to the CDF. So CDF commands the army. CDF wouldn't have given me police guards or constables or anything, because it's not commanding police. It commands the army. If I had asked the post Chora, probably could have given me police. Well, I saw a Facebook post on by Chagulanyi that as I was in court, I was probably surrounded by security. What I believe and what I saw in court yesterday, the court was manned by police officers, well identified, and they were in uniform. Anything that there were other government operatives, I wouldn't know whether there were other operatives, since court was attended by different types of people who were concerned with the matter before court. So I deny any knowledge because I didn't see any kind of operative inside the court. But what I saw were members of NUP who were seated. There were many seated in that court, and eventually many women and men who had an interest in hearing court matters. So it's not true that the court had the operatives and maybe they were there. I mean, how could I identify them? My role was to come to court to clarify on issues relating to NURP. That was before court. I did that exactly without being pressured, without being coerced. So I gave my evidence and it came out of that court. Now, I deny any of the misinformation that appear in that Facebook recording posted by Honorable Chagulanyi. I was free in court. I was free up to the end of the court session. When we closed that, I came out freely and I went freely to my destination. I came straight home to enjoy my freedom, and I'm here. No, nothing is wrong going on. So the issue of having been surrounded in court by operatives or anything like that, that's really unknown to me. And
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Simbwa Paul Kagombe, former Secretary General, National Interreconciliation and Development Party, and current Senior Administrative Secretary of National Unity Platform. Very contentious formation that is around the point today. There are so many things talked about on social media and print, and everywhere. Everyone is wondering about what is going on. As a senior administrator in the formation, I would wish to clarify and inform the nation that National Unity Platform has its own issues to go about before we involve in other third parties. And because matters concerning how the name came about to be changed are in court, I shall not divulge so much into them, but I want to put it clear to Uganda and everyone that as leaders of National Unity Platform and former leaders of National Interreconciliation and Development Party, we are safe and alive to start with, because there are news that have been going on social media. We have been kidnapped, there are this and this, army is involved in the politics. This is, I would wish to clarify onto this, that there is no security involvement in these things about politics. Security is guaranteed to every Ugandan who wishes so to have, provided there is any threat. And the level of security depends upon the threats that one gets. So when my former president has army at his home, I think that is very good, and we would thank the government for protecting its people. Though he is in opposition, but when he made that cry, he was assisted. And true, he is in safe hands, because it is the security is visible wherever he goes, which is incumbent to every Ugandan who feels his life is in danger. He is incumbent to reaching wherever they can reach, and the level of deployment is measured by the level of threat. So leaving that one alone, myself, I'm alive and I'm moving. I'm not in any threat because I move freely. And issues to do with mixing up things would be really taken up mpola mpola. You know, we don't have to rush them. We don't need to misinform Ugandans about our internal small things and make them so big to create news on social media and the print media. Issues regarding National Unity Platform should be settled internally, if at all there are mechanisms and possibilities of sorting them out. But according to me, as the Senior Administrative Secretary, and having followed how things emanated from change of name and up to today, I believe a lot is desired to be done, because there is no cohesion internally. Administratively, the structures have not been built, and you know, we are jumping onto big things and also attaching everyone to gain sympathy, which wouldn't be good. To me, my advice to my other players in the game is to think of coming back home, see how things can be put right, if anyway they can be put right, because according to me, and the agreements that we are engaged in before assimilating people power into National Unity Platform, they deviated from everything that we agreed about. And I say this with a lot of confidence, being the Senior Administrative Secretary, that nothing is followed as regards to the constitution of the party. These people just sit, 3 of them, 4 of them, decide on to certain things, which certain things do not bring value to Ugandans, and the way things are done is not really how we thought things would be going. Because when these guys came to us, we thought for them they were going to bring in breath, because we are at a low profile. But having run the party from 2004 to 2020, when they joined us, you can see the mess that they have put in the party. There is a lot of kavuyo, there is no single office where you can go and present your case and it is heard. I, being the senior administrative secretary, have not actually participated in my office. By virtue of my office being at the home of the leadership of the party, because I'm the secretary to the executive board, which is the highest board with authority to decide the party direction. And there has never been a meeting convened to direct the party about how the business is supposed to be conducted. And then you claim tomorrow that you formed an election management body to conduct to prepare for an election that is due to come in 2021, when internally yourselves you can't even compose your administrative committee to come up with such guidelines and bring the party to the line. To me, I believe there is something that is lacking, and that something that is lacking is bent onto people thinking about themselves. Because when you look at the formation itself, everything rotates around 3 people. Where there is no Louis Ngongwea, there is no party. Where there is no Bobi Wine, things are not going to move. Where are the rest of us? What participation are we supposed to make according to how we agreed? So to me, I believe Ugandans need to take it cautiously. They need to tread into these things mpola mpola, so that we don't at the end of the day knock onto the wall. Because these young men are looking at their own plans of, I don't know, because if we are looking at being democratic and you don't have internal democracy within yourselves, just look at the processes of vetting candidates already in an infiltrated kind of setup. So you only see there is nothing that they are aiming at other than misleading Ugandans into things that only benefit them. Because we needed to sit down, compose the party, go by the constitution of the party to achieve the objectives to why the party was formed. But if without doing all these things, we are going to talk about certain things to hoodwink Ugandans and assume that the ruling government is witch hunting an individual, because the party is bigger than an individual, and if the party is not well organized, then an individual can't really do much. So this is what Ugandans need to understand today. We need to calm down. We need to follow things the right way, other than going by the waves of the media, the social media. These are clips, these are videos, these things. Anybody is free to say anything. But before you get the truth and to the bottom of the truth, then it is very difficult to disseminate the right information to Ugandans, which would be the most prudent thing to do. So in this regard, I believe a lot is still desired to be done. There is no truth in whatever these people are saying, because if I may really tell you, Mr. Chibalama, the founder of the party, the person who gave in the party, it is very good. Bobi Wine himself and the team says they didn't buy the party. Well and good. He says and clarifies it, he didn't sell the party. Then what was this that they talked about to form the merger? There must have been certain agreements, though gentlemanly, but we needed to move along the line to get to where we wanted all to go. A person gives you the party, you claim you didn't buy, he says you didn't sell, you get his passport, confiscate it from him, you deny him chances. Now supposing today Mr. Chibalama fell sick, when the executive secretary, Louis Ngongwea, took his passport. Today, if he fell sick and is supposed to be flown to Nairobi for treatment, what happens? You need to establish certain things, and then Ugandans need to know how people do things. Because when you are in the back doors making agreements, sometimes Ugandans are not there. So when we come out to give them what we know, they should appreciate to listen to the truth. Both sides speak, and then we decide which side is right or which side is wrong. And I believe it is just a matter of time. Events are just starting to unfold. When we talk about how the name was changed, it is only known to us. When we talk about how Kachiri on the 14th of July, how the delegates conference that ushered in the new leadership was conducted, it is another issue to be talked about tomorrow. When you talk about the formation internally, it is hell. So we need to really be systematic when we are doing certain things. And I know with the time, we are going to make more clarifications, and with the clarifications that we are making are based onto the truth and nothing but the truth. And we need Ugandans to really separate, because if we got this party and we put in people to work with, where are we? Did we give it to them to run it the way they want, or we are supposed to work together? I want someone among them who say they are trustworthy and they want to take Uganda to another level from where it is today. Where is the old leadership of the party? What could have happened? These are things that we need to really talk about, and then Ugandans themselves pick the right out of the mud. Thank you. And actually, it is so incredible when this is also put to be heard. Because if people are coming out to cry for sympathy about somebody they want to portray as they care about. Mr. Chibalama's phones were taken out from him. Not only the phones, but even the lines. 2 phones were taken out from him. So he was denied a chance to communicate to his other people. His passport was taken. I mean, if we are talking about our captivity, how do we measure this kind of impunity in terms of captivity? Because he can't walk out of the country, neither can he communicate to anybody because his phones were taken. And you know, somebody comes and takes your communication gadgets away from you. What could be the intention in this? We need to put this into context for Ugandans to judge whether Chibalama is maybe shrewd, is not understanding, is whatever that he can be branded. Want to know why the executive secretary of the Formation National Unity Platform, former People Power, Louis Wongwe, took his phones from him. On which grounds can he stand to mention that he confiscated his phones to secure him or to deprive him of anything? You know, you can't communicate to anyone, you know, things like that. And then people say he has been arrested because his phones are off. Yet they are the ones who have it is Louis Lubongoya who has his phones. It is Louis Lubongoya who has his passport. So we need to draw the lines properly. Is it government that is holding Chibalama hostage, or it is the executive secretary of National Unity Platform, so People Power, who is holding Chibalama captive? Being a person who moves closely with Mr. Chibalama and doing things in relation to politics and management of our affairs politically, the passport was taken on grounds that these young men had come up to join with Mr. Chibalama, who looks aged, and they wanted to use his passport to secure funding from their foreign donors. So they wanted to portray that he's moving along with them, having been a former party president, handed them the party, and they are in good books with him, so that they use it as a cover-up to secure funding from their donors. That is, I believe that's the small I can divulge about that.